Every bottle that is made has to be labeled and then only next batch is made. So we have to follow very strict guideline on that. During COVID time, workers were not coming only. And in both the years, we had to shut down the plant for 60 days. So it impacted us adversely. But I mean, it doesn't happen it happens once in a century. So that is a history now. We all have lived that and witnessed that event. But thereafter, once it was normalized, then we could again get to normal operation. Two things that have changed. One is that more and more doctors started using IV fluid as a vehicle for medication. Earlier, if you remember, like 30, 40 years back, IV fluid was given only when there is serious critical condition, otherwise not diligent. Now even vitamins are supposed to be administered for IV solution. So IV is a very good vehicle. Typically in US or Europe, if a person is hospitalized, he will be administered 4 to 6 bottles at a time. In India, that was not the case. But post-COVID, I think that has come into practice because there are obvious advantages. The other thing is government guideline. Government doesn't like or support the concept of administering two medications together. Like you will see combination drugs, one tablet having two actives, that government restricts now. Similarly, if like a person has to be given vitamin C, then if it is a 500 ml solution, they will give vitamin C. In 100 ml, again they will give another medication likewise. So the usage pattern has changed. So I hope I have answered your question.
Amanta Healthcare global presence, and what are its strategy for expansion in different markets?
So our global footprint, it varies from therapy to therapy. For instance, Steripod that we saw, or we are seeing here, is innovation that we were the first one to bring it to India, and it is India-centric. Having said that, we still export to markets like Kenya, but our main target audience will remain India. Talking about globally, respiratory care, for example, they are more focused in markets like Philippines and Vietnam and Thailand. Formulation injectables are more towards Africa and Southeast Asia. You must have seen eye irrigation product. Because irrigation, it's not nothing to do with irrigation, but it's eye and wound irrigation. It's used in phaco surgeries. That is primarily sold in UK, Ireland, and Spain at the moment, and we will expand that in Europe and markets like Australia, New Zealand. So I will rephrase my answer to an extent. Whatever product portfolio we have developed and whatever geographic areas we are addressing, in the same geographies we would be able to add more therapeutic offerings. So primarily without geographic expansion also we can easily introduce new products, mainly in injectables and respiratory care products. Hope I answered your question. So we all grew up in Anglophile environment, or we are probably product of that generation. So there was a tendency to give Anglo-Saxonic names earlier. So we also probably gave that name. When we started this company at that time, I didn't envisage that company would grow to this level and we will have registration in numerous countries. I don't think at the age of 26, at least I didn't have any vision. So, but then gradually company grew, we started registering products in numerous countries. Then a situation came that sometimes e-Merck conference invoice will come to us. Our company will get confused with Markson. Likewise, there were 6 companies with similar sounding names. In 2013-14, we were introducing Steripod. So, there's a container you see here. I will show you the sample also. So, Steripod was innovative product. There were really strong product attributes. So we thought that this needs to be promoted. The concept has to be sold. It can't be left to distribution channel. So our total field strength at that time was around 20 people. We added 200. At that time we thought that we have this challenge of ambiguity about the corporate brand. We are spending so much money on Steripod brand. So why not to use this opportunity to rebrand the company also? So because I think this is the first instance where the corporate brand was changed by piggybacking on the baby brand. Incidentally, this appeared as a case study in one Canadian management school. My friend's son was studying there and he sent me the case study that there is a company which rebranded based on the initiatives or efforts they were putting on the baby brand. So to remove the ambiguity, we changed from Mark to Amata, otherwise nothing else has changed.
So have you brought down the prices?
No, I think the NRV has not come down.
Then
I will ask Secretary to address this question.
So there is a marginally lower sales compared to FY24 to 25
lower sale in volume or per unit?
per unit. I'm talking about.
That's what I said, na? The
No,
lower-
not per unit. Total value 280 to 270. That's what you are referring to, right?
I'm referring FY 24 to FY 25.
Correct.
Your cash flow operating activities is 4662 as compared to FY 24 580. And you've got no finished goods inventory.
There is some impact on the in operating activity because the inventory was higher compared to last year. That's the reason.
So inventory low, what the money will come in, na?
I know, but to that extent, that year's from EBITDA to that extent, money blocks into the current assets. To that extent, there will be.
So operating activity cash flow normally is referred to, day-to-day operations related, right? So last year, if you see the inventory levels were 59 crores, and the next year inventory level increased to 73 crores approximately. So suddenly 14 crores rise in the inventory, that money is blocked within that. That is why the cash flow operation is reduced. From the reduction in operating cash flow, because that much cash is blocked in inventory additionally. That is why the operating cash flow is reduced. Otherwise, other things are normal.
How is the company leveraging on R&D and technology? On R&D and technology, differentiate its product portfolio.
So our mainstay is integrating the product development, the molecular chemistry of the product, and fusing with the engineering, which is a process part. Process is very tricky. Here the container is manufactured in situ. At that time the temperature would be 100 degree plus. And then you are filling the solution. So most of the products are very susceptible to thermal shock. So product development in lab is lot easier than the tech transfer that we do to the manufacturing level. So that restricts our offering to an extent. But in spite of that, there are quite a few products that we have done. For example, paracetamol infusion in plastic container. We were the first ones to develop it and launch it in India. And it was licensed out to Pfizer, and they mined for more than 5 years till they sold the product to Abbott. Similarly, Pfizer wanted a product called Pedialyte. It was packed in glass bottles with a rubber stopper, with aluminum seal, and then a plastic dropper. So 5 kind of materials were coming in contact with the solution. We developed a tooling for them and gave a container with a peel-off kind of solution. And again, that was the kind of performing very well. So likewise, we are very strong in that process and tech transfer to the manufacturing level. We don't have very elaborate R&D at the moment. The reason being that there are very few products which are stable in plastic. But if something is stable in plastic, then that's the best way to go about it in terms of cost efficacy and product quality assurance. So our offerings, they remain confined to ophthalmics, respiratory care, and some injections in 100 ml. We were not putting much weight in product development till last year because there was no capacity addition. In last 7-8 years, whatever capacity addition we have seen is in steady port space. Now with this proceeds, we are going to add capacity SVP also. So that will increase our capacity in both small volume injections and respiratory care product. So now we have already preempted that by developing respirators for nebulizers and ophthalmic solutions. So That's what we call typically in pharma lingo product pipeline. So right now we are working 20 products which are being developed and they will be commercialized once SVPs commission.
Any plans